Hey, it's Raj from 3CB. Norwegian and Real Madrid promising youngster Martin Odegaard, currently on loan at Real Sociedad, has been diagnosed with patellar tendinopathy in his right knee, an ailment he's been dealing with over the course of the season, most recently feeling knee discomfort versus Celta. He's set to meet a specialist in Barcelona to discuss treatment options beyond what has already been done thus far, with the key goal of avoiding surgery. In this video, I'll explain the condition, if Real Sociedad should bear any blame, the treatment options, and potential career impact. Patellar tendinopathy refers to irritation of the patellar tendon, which bridges the patella, kneecap, and tibia, shin bone. The injury, colloquially called, quote, jumper's knee, is quite common in young athletes like Martin who are involved in sports that require repetitive high-energy loading of the tendon, such as jumping, landing, pivoting, and cutting. These movements require the tendon to store and release energy like a spring. Tendinopathy can be functionally classified into three phases, the Blazina classification system. Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. Based on reporting, Odegaard is very likely in Phase 1 or early Phase 2. When the patellar tendon is overloaded, the collagen fibers that make up the tendon can go into a state of disrepair and become disorganized, resulting in chronic pain and tendon thickening visible on MRI. Odegaard reportedly first had symptoms early in the season and kept on playing, which brings us to the question, is Real Sociedad to blame? It's difficult to make any judgment without having insight into the medical staff's decision-making process, but based on the information available, there's multiple reasons why I believe they aren't to blame. Firstly, Odegaard simply having discomfort in the tendon doesn't mean you completely shut him down from playing, because tendon discomfort is a very fluid situation in which mild pain may not lead to anything more. To that point, early stages of physio for tendinopathy very commonly actually lead to an increase in discomfort. Managing a player with patellar tendinopathy, especially in season, is about gauging the duration and intensity of the symptoms, rather than a binary pain or no pain assessment. Secondly, Real Sociedad had Martin in a tendon physio program that consisted of modifying activity, manual therapy, and a personalized training program, very likely consisting of both patellar tendon specific and surrounding kinetic chain strengthening and stretching. Thirdly, it's a huge misnomer that rest will solve tendinopathy. To that point, Odegaard had 3+ months without a game due to the COVID-19 delay, yet experienced discomfort again just 2 games into the restart. This latest aggravation distinctly tells us the current management formula isn't working, and thus Martin and Real Sociedad are now looking into alternative treatment options. These can include injections such as prolotherapy, sclerotherapy, aprocinin, or platelet-rich plasma PRP therapy. Further, ultrasound-guided dry needling and shockwave therapy are recent options as well. However, in all these cases, the evidence of their effectiveness is scant and very much in its infancy. If they haven't already, the training staff may explore changing certain biomechanical patterns that could be contributing to Odegaard's condition. For example, poor jumping and landing techniques can overstress the knees and thus the patellar tendon. Patellar tendinopathy can be a frustrating and drawn-out recovery process, often as long as 6 months, but when caught in the early stages and managed well, it can certainly be dealt with effectively. For example, tennis superstar Rafa Nadal has dealt with the same issue in both knees since he was 21, and although he's had some flare-ups that required him to sit out key tournaments, he still managed to win 19 Grand Slams while playing a very intensive style of tennis and is still going strong. If, worst case scenario, all conservative options fail for Martin and he needs a surgery to excise, remove degenerated tissue, the research still shows a very high rate of return to play. Overall, with the right precautions, careful management, and commitment to fitness, I expect Odegaard to have a fruitful career. That's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching. My goal is to provide you with in-depth, evidence-based, narrative-free analysis. You can always find me on IG and Twitter at 3CB Performance. Take care of yourselves and follow the appropriate precautions to limit your exposure to and spread of COVID-19. Make sure to sub to the channel and follow along on all social media for latest updates. 3CB out.